How do I get the job with no experience? And this is a really good question. Did you know that most people change occupations 15 times in their lifetime? That's a lot of jobs, and they're probably not all directly related. So, how do I move from one job in the food service industry into something in payroll or data analytics or maybe construction or management? My experience in the two positions don't really correlate, or if they do, I'm not really sure how to bring it across in an interview. Well, this is why I've designed it for you. Trying to interview for a job that you've never actually done before can be pretty tough. I have worked with clients that have literally gone from one job experience into a completely different career. The important part to figure out first is why. Why is going to be our step number one in this process. When I work up with clients one-on-one, it's the first question I ask them. Explain to me what appeals to you about this new career. Why do you want to make the switch? It's very important that you understand this because we're going to weave this answer into some of the responses we put in your interview. 2, I'm going to ask you what. What appeals to you about this new position? What is it that you like when you read the skills or the work experience or the opportunities? What appeals to you? In order to answer this question, it would be good to go back and watch my episode on what do I need to know for the interview, where we cover how to dissect a job posting or job description. There's a lot of key information in there that you're going to need to know and understand in order to be able to answer the question, what appeals to you? And now the next question is, how? How does the experience that you already have, the education that you've gotten, the abilities that you have, relate to this new position? For this question, I suggest you go to my website, jobinterviewcoach.ca, and download the free PDF that I've created for you. It's a really helpful tool that will allow you to start to organize some of your thoughts. Here's what they're asking for in this job description. Here's what I find appealing. On the next column, you're going to start to list the what. What do I have to prove to them? And how am I going to prove it? What have I done in the past? I'll give you an example. Let's say you come from the food industry. You've been working in that industry for at least 5 years, part-time. You've done a lot of waitressing, service, a lot of customer service, a lot of time management, organizational skills. You know how to deal with stress. There's great skills that come out of the food industry. But you've gotten tired of it. Maybe your feet are sore, your back is sore, the shift work is hard, and you'd like to get into something that's more a Monday to Friday base, maybe an office setting. So you saw an administrative position come up and you'd like to apply. But how am I going to relate what I did in food industry to an office job? Well, by using the PDF, we can start to take those responsibilities that they're asking for and relate them right back to your resume. After all, to work in an office setting, you're probably going to have to be pretty organized. You're going to have to prioritize. You're going to have to be able to deal with stress and people that come into the office potentially, if it's a medical office or a lawyer's office where you have to answer the phone, meet and greet customers. Doesn't that sound familiar? Absolutely. These are all skills that you've developed in the food industry, even though you've never worked in an office setting. The tough part about this question on how do I apply for a job that I have no experience in is that you have to convince me, the panelist, that you can actually do it. So you do have a little bit of an uphill battle. In order to understand how I'm going to mark this question, I suggest you go back and watch my episode on How are interview questions marked? Because that will give you some really important insight into just what that interview panelist is looking for in your answer. Yeah, it's going to be hard to say, I have specifically worked in an office and this is what I did. But you can make the connections for them. Think of an interview answer as kind of painting the interview panelist a picture, a map perhaps, on how I'm going to get from here to here. If you think about it that way, now you can start to understand, using the marking scheme, how I need to show them. I've built experience here. Here's what I did. I understand this about the position that I'm applying for, and here's why and how I think I can perform those duties. By using these steps on why do I want the job, what do I like about it, and how do I think I can apply my skills to this job, you can literally answer any question. It's also important to be really realistic before you start to apply for a job that you've never done before. Start studying the job descriptions and the postings. What are they looking for? Maybe there are added skills and experience, education, training that you need to go out and get before you apply for the job. Because remember, before the interview, we screen all the resumes and applications, and you need to meet those qualifications to get in the seat for the interview. So do your homework. Look into the jobs you're interested in, talk to people that are in them, figure out what you need to have, use the PDF and start align it. What are they looking for? What do I have? And how will I prove it? And if you have gaps, well, now's the time to start filling those gaps so that you can still shoot for that career and that job change that you really, really want. Isn't this exciting? It absolutely is possible to rock the interview for a job you've never done. You just have to be confident and show them how you're going to do it. If you'd like more information on how I can help you, please go to my website, jobinterviewcoach.ca. I put a lot of thought and effort into how I could encourage people to do really well on their interviews. I want to show you how to practice for success. I created an online course that has a lot of in-depth videos and examples to help you really start to work with your own material so that you can better prepare for your job. I also do one-on-one coaching. It's actually one of my favorite things to do. I absolutely love working with clients. We go through the questions and the answers they prepared. I use a marking scheme and I give them real life feedback on how the answer sounded, maybe when it sounded a little confusing or they forgot some details, or I ask those hard questions that a panelist can't ask you mid-interview. So what are you trying to say? Why did you say that? Can you tell me more? How does this link to the question I've asked you? Do you know what the question is asking you? Having someone help you actually prepare for the interview is also extremely important. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope you feel more encouraged to apply for that job that you have no experience in. Because guess what? You do have experience. You just have to figure out how to bring it across. Thanks for joining me, and check out these next episodes created just for you to help you rock that interview and practice for success. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And don't forget to look up my website, jobinterviewcoach.ca, for that free PDF. See you soon.